Hello and welcome back to our video series for Polaris 3G. My name is Todd. I'm with Mecklenburg County GIS. And I'm going to go over the different map displays for Polaris 3G. We're going to look at base maps. We're going to look at overlays. We're going to look at labels, and we're going to look at legends. So let's go ahead and get started with base maps. So basically, base maps are a series of maps that we've created and generated in a tiling scheme that's going to allow for really fast mapping, which you normally haven't seen in the other Polaris. It usually takes a little time for the map to come back and draw. With this, these are base maps, so they are pre-built up front, and you've got access to different ones here. We've got four different base maps loaded into Polaris 3G. One is the streets, one is imagery, one is hybrid, and one is topographic. So for demonstration purposes, we're going to take a look at each one of those, and in a later video we're going to talk about searches, but I'm going to go ahead and do a search right now just to show you some of these base maps. So I'm going to go ahead and put in 5501 Ruth Drive as an example, and I'll talk to you a little bit more about the call out box that you see. I'm going to go ahead and close this. This is the streets base map. Once you zoom in to the level of where property are, these property lines will come on. You can't turn these property lines off because they're part of the base map. The building footprints, part of the base map. Anything that you see in a base map cannot be turned off. So we did a lot of work in deciding on what we wanted to put in these and what best were to be shown and what best were to be turned on at will. So that's kind of where we are with the base maps. We also have imagery. I think I told you in the introductory we have 4 to 5 years. Right now we've loaded 4 years of imagery from 2012 back to 2009, and we'll be getting 2013 pretty soon. You can see in this view there's no property lines, no street names, nothing. The property that I have highlighted is the only thing. There's a lot of people that do like this ability. A lot of people put together portfolios for clients, and they like to edit and make their own annotated maps. So this base map's a pretty good option for those guys to pull into other editing software and to make custom maps for their clientele. So we put that in there in the system. We also have a hybrid map. Obviously, a lot of people are going to want to see property lines and how they run, on the ground, those kind of things. So you can turn these property lines on and see that information. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this timeline up here. As you notice, this widget is kind of a player. So it's got the ability to play and pause. You can see now I'm kind of playing through the different years of the aerial photography. You can pause it at any year, or you can turn it back on. This is a pretty good tool to show change detection, particularly like saying for flooding or something like that. I would probably suspect that you guys won't be using this play button, so you might just want to go ahead and just turn it back off. I would probably either use the navigation buttons for the timeline, either previous or next, or you can actually just take your mouse and move the scroller over to the year that you're interested in seeing the aerial photography. So you can see here I'm going next, previous. So you can see I'm just navigating through each year of the aerial photography. So that's your hybrid base map. We have a topographic base map. As you can see, pretty much the map is green, and when I say green, that's the tree canopy. Anything that's a brownish area is open space. So you can see there's a lot of tree canopy in this established neighborhood. We also have topo lines, and you can see the brown lines depict the 10-foot topo line. So there's pretty much 700 feet above elevation right through the subdivision. And if you notice, you get in tighter here. I'll zoom in a little bit more. You can see dash lines. These dash lines are the 2-foot lines. So it's, you know, 2 foot, either 2 foot higher or 2 foot lower, either way, on either side of this 10-foot line. So, and you've got a lot of dark green parcels. Those guys are your, they're either your greenways or your park property, so you'll be able to see those. We also provide a legend, so I'm going to click on legend. Over to the far left-hand side, you'll see a legend layer, so you'll be able to see what symbology goes with what feature, whether it's an interstate, streets, or streams, or building footprints, those kind of things. So I'm going to go back to the streets base map, and we're going to go ahead and get into some overlays. So let's say, for instance, here I'm on this piece of property, and it's along a creek. Makes you wonder if there's any flooding that goes on out there, any potential flooding. So if I'm wanting to see if this is a creek that's prone to flooding, I may want to know about the floodplain. So what I can do is click on overlays, and I'm provided with a list to the left-hand side of different data sets that I could load and show on top of the map. And we've got them in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different categories listed under boundaries, environmental, historical, transportation, and others. So for this demonstration, I'm going to turn on the community floodplains and the FEMA. So I'm going to check that. You can see I've got it turned on. Let's say I might want to know about water quality buffers. I can turn that on, and you can see I'm able to do multiple data layers on top of each other. Now I can do soils, and let's say I want to do zoning. So obviously the map isn't too busy. I can pretty much make out what information's there, but you know, you may not want to put all this stuff all at one time. You may, or you may not. So I'm just going to start backing out of some of these, and we'll just leave like the zoning on. And let's say I want to get tighter back in this. So you guys remember from the previous video, I'm going to zoom box. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to zoom box right into it. Okay. Labeling. We've got 4 different kind of labels that you can put on these maps. You can do parcel ID number, lot dimensions, address number, and points of interest. And I'll go over each one of those here in just a second. Let's do parcel ID number. You can see I turned it on, and the parcel ID numbers are showing on all the parcels. Now, the further out you get, I can tell you it's going to get a little bit messy. So, and at some point it's going to turn them off. So you probably want to be at a certain scale level so you get a good quality map with parcel numbers, and that way they don't overlap. Lot dimensions. You can turn that on and you're able to see the lot dimensions for the map. Like for this property, you can see what the dimensions are around the perimeter. Address number. You can see the green dots on the map depict all the addresses. So each building has an address. This system is going to allow you to search against those addresses as well. So I'm going to start turning those guys off. You can also turn on what's called point of interest. And basically anything that's a library, a school, it could be a church, it could be a business, any landmark related thing. You can see here I've got Plaza United Methodist Church. I'm on a fairly residential road here, so you don't see a lot. Let me zoom down to an area here, and you can see a lot of different business entities are coming up in this intersection. So this is some data that we never had in Polaris before, but in Polaris 3G we have it now. So a lot of good new information that we're providing for people to see exactly what's going on out there in the county. So I'm going to go ahead and turn zoning off. And I think, well, I've already shown you the legend. You can see here I've got a lot of different labels turned on. These are all the different points of interest, fire stations and medical posts, police stations. So a lot more additional data is being added to the map. So anyway, that looks to be it, and I appreciate you watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.